Or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be, and time for a brief disclaimer. Something that I've been talking about on a lot of these venture forwards and VF talks, and something I'll talk about briefly this evening. In a sense that the National MS Society is a collective of passionate individuals who want to do something about MS now, to move together towards a world free of multiple sclerosis. MS stops people from moving. The National MS Society exists to make sure that MS doesn't. It's an incredible organization that really does a lot for people who have multiple sclerosis, demyelinating disorders, but also their families and their friends to help move closer to curing MS, or at least providing more by way of disease modifying treatments or other treatments as therapeutics to help multiple sclerosis. They're an incredible organization, and an organization that I will talk about on every single episode of Venture Forward and VF Talks as we continue down this road. That said, the National MS Society can be contacted by calling 1 800 344 4867. Again, 1 800 344 4867, or by going to their website at nationalmssociety.org. It's time to talk. I guess I could say I'm ready to talk about anything and everything that's on all of our minds. Maybe it's the weather outside. Maybe it's the changing economy. Maybe it's the fact that I don't have a goatee anymore. We'll talk about those things and all the things because this is the Venture Forward VF Talks. Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, and welcome. This is the Venture Forward. We have talks. And that guy over there, that cantankerous Triceratops who thinks he's a T-Rex, is here to say hi too. And I'm glad to see all of you tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Let me say hi to some of you, and then we'll talk about the week that was. We'll start with you, Sarah. How'd it go today? It went interesting. It was an hour and a half phone call that needed to happen, and very glad it did. And I'll talk about exactly what that is. Not to leave context clues or whatnot, but I'll talk about that in a minute or so. But yeah, it went okay. There was a plan. There was absolutely a plan. I have a good idea who's in the green room. Oh my God. Could it be? I don't know. I won't know until I reveal the curtain in the green room, but I have an idea who it might be. Venturini says, Wabba! How you doing, Paul? You doing okay? Hope you're doing well from across the ocean. Hope you're having a great evening / evening. It would be late in the evening, wouldn't it? This mystery man who's in the green room is just saying hi, Paul, and everything, and oh boy. And it's Matt. It's Matt. Would that be Matt of the Haas? I think it might be. Because he's got some podcast news to share. And I think I can go on and on about, I'll spend a minute. Bankruptcy. I had a call with my attorney this morning about bankruptcy and what the sort of plan is for Chapter 13 and all the things that are involved and figuring out debt to income and all that fun stuff. Disposable income is another piece of that. The means test, another part of that. It was a good call. It was a very good call, and we got a path forward as far as that's concerned. And as that evolves into a story, I will tell you more about that. As basically I've told you everything as it became the thing to do. I'll be very clear about what's going on with the bankruptcy story. We're looking at a 5-year sort of plan, and in due time, all of the unsecured debt issues I've had will go away through Chapter 13. But anyhow, more about that in the coming weeks as that becomes more and more a thing. And Sarah says hi to Weber. I think it's due time for me to bring on the wizard, the proverbial Wizard of Haas, on this wonderful episode of the VF Talks.
John Venturini, hello.
Oh, Mr. Matt Haas, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for having me back on. One of these days you're going to get wise and not put me on because I know I cause you problems.
I think in the next 25, 30 years, maybe sometime down the road. Just not now.
Maybe. And congratulations to you for having the show at this time on this day where I had no conflicts where I was running errands.
Yes! I found the open sort of timing for to be graced by the presence of one Wizard of Haas.
Yep. I know audiences, and I know your audience wants the occasional co-host to not have conflicts.
Yeah, I've done a poll, and they said more times than not they are annoyed by conflicting guests, whether it's on the VF Talks or on the main program. So yes, Matt, nice to have the pulse on the Venture Forward community. Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm looking out for you, John.
Always. Oh
my.
So
it's good news about the meeting you had and a plan forward. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things, as some of you who have been watching the show and have experienced it know, it's the uncertainty of walking into something that is classified as something that is, bankruptcy. That's going to be, but it's a necessary sort of thing to do in order to reorganize and try to give yourself a clean slate to make good on things, and realizing full well that you do not have the addictions you used to have before, and you don't have that sort of mechanism, and you're always keeping an eye on it. You're always working at it. They never go away, but you have a better mindset about it.
And it's good that you're getting help from, a professional too, because a lot of people, get their advice from not so good sources. So it sounds like you're doing it the right way. Although I've never done it, it sounds like you are, and that makes me happy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Paul Burke, who's joining us, says, "Nice man. Glad you have a plan and someone helping with that." Yeah, Paul, I don't know how I would be able to do that without a fine attorney who's done one or two. When I say many, many, many of these, definitely helps. And good to see you this afternoon, Paul. If you want to jump on, you know the link as it disappeared. Why did that disappear? There it is. There it is. Okay. Got on the graphics and everything now. There you go. So big news. Big news, Mr. Haas. The floor is yours.
I got some big news. Well,
Big
first, I'm in a unique situation personally because I have no large web development project hanging over my head, and I have prepared all of my expenses for my taxes for 2020. So I find myself being able to do whatever I want. It's not something I have enjoyed for months. So
oh man.
And I'm cranking out videos, and I was putting together something about podcasting, a how-to video on how to host your podcast. And I have some knowledge of how the industry does it on these professional podcasting services. I know how they've engineered their system, and my whole point was to just explain it to the audience, what they're doing, and explain to the audience how you could do the same thing and do it on the cheap.
Oh,
and have
you?
a product that's just
You
as
could
good.
do that? You could do
I
that.
could do that.
Wow.
But I had a sad realization with my plan. And that is there's a new player in town who's doing professional podcast hosting, and they're not charging anything for it. It's completely free. So my whole strategy for these series of videos is now moot because it's not, it's not relevant anymore. It was relevant a while ago, but it's not. Anyway, so
about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, there's a service called Anchor.
Anchor.
And Anchor is legit 100% free. And I knew it because I know what it takes to put together that service. You use Amazon's S3, which is a persistent object store, super cheap, super fast, super reliable. And I'm like, it's 5 cents a gigabyte per download. So you could have hundreds of people. Yeah, it's a cheap way to do it. And that's how these things like Podbean and Castos and all these other podcasting services, they charge you $10 a month. They're really only paying about 15 cents a customer, and they're pocketing the rest. And now Anchor comes along and they're like, yeah, it's all for free. They're doing it as a loss leader. They're like, we don't care if 100,000 people sign up and it costs us 15 cents a customer. They want a position anyway. So I'm making all these videos, and I edited them, and they're super tight. They got lots of transitions, lots of overlays. I'm keeping the people engaged. I'm delivering. I'm cutting out the fluff. I'm doing everything.
You're helping the folks to have a short attention span. You're doing your service there. It's great.
I am. And now I'm like, I don't think I'm going to publish any of them because it's not relevant.
No, we got to see it now.
That's life as a content creator,
Sarah says her favorite topic, dinner, pasta fagioli.
Pasta fagioli. Yeah, baby.
Oh, and we got another guest. I hang on. Well, we got a guest. I don't know. It might be a familiar guest. Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be now?
Hello.
Oh, that would be Ashley Blake, who is on last night's Venture Forward. Ashley, how are you?
I'm good. I'm avoiding doing work right now.
There you go. That's fantastic.
Hi, Ashley. I'm Matt. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Matt. Nice to meet you too.
So, what do you think of this John character?
He's a character, all right.
Yeah. He somehow lets me on his show. I haven't figured out why he does that, but
I have to do a little bit of editing every time you go on. It's fine. You know, you do some of those really risque jokes of really risque scenes, and it's okay. I edit, and it's all good, and it works out well in the end. I think.
I'll give
Fingers
you a thumbs
crossed.
up for that. So, what's new and exciting?
Yeah, Ashley, what's new and exciting with you?
I do therapy, so I did therapy. That's my life.
Do you help a lot of people through a lot of crap?
I do.
Excellent.
I do.
I joined a Facebook group that was support for life coaches just because I was interested in the career field, and then they switched it to a marketing. They renamed it, and now it became like a general marketing thing. I'm like, I wanted the life coaching, conversation. But
That's
anyway.
unfortunate.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that happens on the interwebs.
It does.
Matt, sell me on your life coaching services.
Yes. I'm curious.
I was just dipping my toe in the water just to see what it was like. But people have said to me, Matt, do you like they'll watch my Facebook wall and I'll do these crazy things and they're like, oh my God, that's like, can you teach me how to be you? So a couple people have said that to me, and it just sort of piqued my interest. And I'm a people person. I love helping people, and I help people how to play the piano. I help people how to use Adobe Illustrator, how to be awesome on YouTube, how to do woodworking. Like, I've got all these interests online, and it just seemed like something I would be interested in learning more about. Not that anyway, I don't know if I did a good job or not.
Oh,
That's my pitch.
it's all me. You have such a treasure trove of different things that you talk about on YouTube, which, I mean, you know a lot of things, Matt. You know a lot of things. We got
Matt
someone else
Brennan.
who's trying to join. I wonder who this is. Ashley, get ready.
Oh, we got
Mr. Burke.
Hey.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. What's going on with you?
Oh, I haven't showered yet today.
Oh, there
So-
you go. That's a ringing endorsement for
Not a
hygiene.
good thing to say when a therapist is here, because then I get concerned.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm the West Coast, so it's only 2:30 in the afternoon.
Good
That
point.
doesn't make me feel better. It doesn't.
Is it because of his childhood? Is that like the go-to line? Is
Oh,
it there?
God.
Yeah.
No,
the
it's
parents
not.
Made me shower all the time.
Did
So
they?
now I'm really fighting back in my own way.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
you're
okay.
you're making it your own, though. I gotta say, you're making it your own, Paul. It's you don't take a shower until 2:30. Fine, that's okay. No one needs to know, except we know now.
So here's the
Yeah.
reason.
Mm.
Here's the reason. I keep telling myself I'm going to work out, and I'm like, I can't shower and then wash out the purple in my hair and then work out and then shower again. I'll lose too much purple. But I
Too much
haven't
purple.
convinced myself to work out. So
First world
I agree
problem.
with your logic.
thank you. Yeah.
Completely. As somebody who's red has all washed out of her hair. Yeah,
It's a structurally sound argument, but
it is
the
indeed.
result is this.
For those of us scoring at home, what shade of purple are you using these days, Paul?
That's a great question. I don't know. Whatever the one the stylist put in my hair.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like
I have
it.
there.
It's a good shade of
But
purple.
Is it the Redken line? Is it what are we talking for those that are watching in the studio audience, home audience? Some
is-
audience.
Studio audience.
Oh, you were asking? Okay, gotcha. Cool.
John, how many, like, I feel like, have you ever gone to LA and watched tapings of TV shows? I feel like that would make you so happy.
I would if everything wasn't, closed down and whatnot for something I can't admit to because, don't want to be demonetized, even though I'm not being monetized to begin with.
I was going to say, you're pulling in the big bucks right now? Through the
Major, major, major dollars. And when I say major dollars, I mean nothing at all.
Well, people could buy you a coffee if they
Oh,
wanted to.
that's a very good point. People
goes to
people
Rex.
can buy me a coffee. It says it goes to he forgets.
Oh,
Yeah,
convenient for you.
very convenient. And I pass the savings on to you, the consumer. Which I don't really do that.
I have a therapist type question.
Okay.
Funny enough, we
do-
have a therapist that might be able to answer it.
You do.
Well, it's more about how her experiences are as a therapist. Do people ever come to you with like mind-numbingly trivial problems, but
Yes.
they're really big problems to them, but it's just
There are times when I want to slap them and go, "Shut up!"
oh no.
It is true. It is true.
Fear
Every
discretion is
therapist-
advised.
It's true because yeah. I had somebody literally complaining about a coloring book, an adult coloring book, how they messed up one page for an hour.
Oh my gosh. It was on the clock, right?
Yeah, at least I was getting paid, but
Speaking of, Sammy says, "Hey JV," and he says, "Ha ha ha." Just want to throw that in there.
Classic Sammy. I'm concerned
Sarah
about
says
this
she doesn't
person.
hesitate for a nanosecond. She's like, "Oh yes."
I'm concerned this person is traumatized about coloring a wrong page. I'm actually very worried about what's happening in their other parts of their life. If like
Oof.
that
Oof.
is worth talking about, like, wow, oh boy.
well, yes, that is the stuff you need to talk about. But
Yeah.
when people get so hyper focused on something, you can't break them from it as much as you try.
Hmm.
Danielle says, "I want purple hair. I've never dyed it."
Do it. Go for it.
I had
Change
purple hair.
things.
It was fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Matt, how is your purple hair? You did it for a little while, right, Matt?
I have never had purple hair. I have a purple light in my background. Does that count?
Oh, okay.
It sort of lightly
I-
tints
I-
my hair purple.
I
don't
will
think
say,
can.
having purple hair, I've realized that people make assumptions about who you are when they see it. Purple hair is like a shorthand for people to be like, "Oh, you're into this and this, right?" And I'm like, "No, I just like color."
I had a client come in for an intake when I had purple hair and then refused to see me because I had purple hair.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty
That says a
shallow.
lot about you. I was already analyzing them.
Oh, no.
I'm afraid to ask this question, but I'll throw it out there anyway. Because hey, I talked about the fact that I do wall push-ups in the shower yesterday. Major outcry. It's like you're going to hurt yourself. So I'm going to throw this question out to the audience. Should I color my hair? And if so, which color? Talk amongst yourselves. Be sure to put your response in the form of a question.
Would you dye it midnight black?
Instead of just camoing it, just go midnight black.
Yeah, like black is black, none blacker. You could
But
be
like
a
that's really
mystery.
hard to pull off. It
Well.
is.
That's possible.
I don't know.
Paul, you're
don't
on
have
mute.
much expertise in this area. Although I do love color. I mean, look at my set. I'm big on color.
And it's amazing because you had about 3 minutes of material there that you did completely on mute.
That was my strongest material. It's very unfortunate. There's this guy on YouTube. I don't know his name and I don't know his channel. So do with this information what you will. But he painted this. He built a room and then painted it with the darkest black available,
Mm.
it's mind-blowingly dark. Like
Vanta
it's
black. Yeah.
yeah, like something. It's very interesting to watch it get painted. So it's
Funny
available
tidbit-
if you want to get
Funny
freaked out.
tidbit about that Vanta black color. It's like $44,000 an ounce because it's used for scientific instruments like the insides of telescopes. And someone was so mad that it's so expensive, they built their own Vanta black that was just like 0.1% brighter than the blackest
Mhm.
black to avoid a copyright conflict, and then sold it to the market for like $10 an ounce. So it's like,
Wow.
Sarah says, I don't see it, John. Maybe a tattoo on my forehead.
I like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like a Mike Tyson sort of circle around the eye. I like it.
Oof.
That
Oof.
would work.
teardrop.
Yeah,
That means he murdered somebody.
sure.
Well, it'll go with his black hair. He'll look really tough and like a force to be reckoned with.
If you were arrested and knew you were probably going to go to prison, would you preemptively get teardrop tattoos just so people don't mess with you?
That's a good
prison?
question. I know I wouldn't, but anybody out there, questions or comments, you can throw them in. Would
I'd
you?
use a Sharpie. I wouldn't go permanent.
I mean, like one of these guys over here. They're dry
Oh, yeah.
erase, right? I don't think they would. Yeah, yeah, it might work.
See, I have
Wrong question.
black, and I have super dark purple. Can you tell that
Oh.
they're different colors? They both look black on the page.
That's close to your hair, Paul.
I like that idea of using. That's what they used. Actually, when I went to the stylist, she's like, close your eyes. And I'm like, it smells like a permanent marker. She's like, no, I'm doing more professional things. But here's my concern. The permanent marker, it might come off during prison, which means when you go in, you'd have to smuggle it in. Listen, that sounds worse than just getting.
Not helping your case there, Paul.
Not helping.
I haven't thought it through. I might need a therapy session to work this out.
A therapy
and-
session to work out how to smuggle a Sharpie into prison to maintain a fake teardrop tattoo.
Ashley, how you do that?
How do you do
I bet
it?
you
Are you
patients
going
never.
back to the times when I worked in prisons?
There you go. There you go. See, ripped from today's headlines.
Did you watch Orange is the New Black?
I did until the third season. Then it went off the rails.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny how her life was all together and she was doing that side business from within prison, and then she was obsessed with finding that chicken that no one thought was
Yes.
there. And she just ignored her outside life, and it was like a decline. It was
Yes.
a fun story arc.
Be funny if that side business was live streaming.
They're not allowed to have internet in prison.
Oh, stop it. There are ways around it.
They have to smuggle phones in.
They have to smuggle phones in.
And phones are a lot wider than pens.
Yes. Actually, the phones usually get smuggled in through the food coming into the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Question for Sammy out there. If you could smuggle a camera into prison, which camera would you smuggle?
I'm gonna guess a 5100, probably a 6100,
Maybe.
6400. Unnecessary. It's hundreds of dollars extra, and all it offers you is nothing. It's the same camera.
It could buy him some immunity from the other. Anyhow, moving on.
Oh, Matt, you were talking about Anchor, right?
Yes.
So, just FYI for anybody thinking about using Anchor, test it and watch out, because my brother-in-law was using it for a little while, and I was editing his audio. Anchor does this thing as you record longer and longer clips. Like if it's a 25 plus minute clip, the audio starts to get out of sync, and your audio either starts to bleed into the other person's or vice versa. So you, in an interview situation, look very rude because you're like beginning to talk over the other person, but it's just a sync issue. So
Interesting.
just FYI, you get what you pay for.
Well, you can
since
just
Anchor's
upload
free.
your own MP3, right?
What?
You can just upload your own MP3. You don't have to record directly through the Anchor service, do you?
No, you don't. You don't. That's
Okay.
one of the big selling points is you can record interviews through it. So if anybody is planning to do that, just watch out. We do
Gotcha.
use Anchor right now just to upload, but if you're recording interviews, you're going to get this like sync problem. So
Mm.
Good to know. Yeah,
What-
they're owned by Spotify.
What is the pay sort of schedule on Anchor anyway? I mean, we talk about how it's based. I know it's a goose egg, but there's got to be a place where they make money some way somehow.
Advertising. You can turn on advertising on your podcast, and they'll share the revenue with you.
Okay.
So there's like an inbuilt ad system to it on their own platform.
and Spotify snatched it up. So I think it's just Spotify's play for getting a bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Mm.
I follow the World Technology News, and they're making a big play on podcasts, and they got Joe Rogan. They paid an untold number of millions of dollars, probably 100 million, maybe more, and their metrics, their uptick in unique users stayed level. Like it had no effect on the bottom line. So this whole
Did it?
podcast play
I thought it
is like
exploded. I thought it blew up.
not through Spotify.
No?
I think
Look that up.
I don't think it was as good as they thought it was going to be. That's that's what the industry is kind of saying.
I thought everything Rogan touches turns into gold, including the UFC.
They're trying to editorialize this stuff, and it's turning some people off. But who knows? Yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with. It's the largest podcast in the world. Not even
He's
in
a
his
great
genre, like
interviewer.
the top one.
Incredible.
There's none higher.
He's a really good interviewer because I feel like he's a guy who can smash your face in. So he's not trying to prove anything. He's just listening to people. And I don't know. It's really interesting. I enjoy it because he has no like ego within each of the questions. He's just like, I'm just curious.
He's genuinely curious, and he does not care what people think about his questions. It's like he has no reason to care. He's set for life. Not that he's anyway.
I'm gonna sound old fashioned when I say this, but the person's podcast I missed the most, that I was hooked on for a very long time, Kevin Pollak. I thought he had an incredible podcast.
I never listened to it.
Oh
that's just
my god!
because
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I never did, but it wasn't like an active no Pollock life choice. Just never did.
I think they're still all available on YouTube. If you get a chance, I'd watch one or two of them. He did one with Tom Hanks, which was absolutely extraordinary.
Cool. Ashley, what podcasts do you like listening to?
I don't listen to any.
I see.
Yes.
I like Freakonomics. Are you familiar with Freakonomics?
I read the book.
Yeah. They talk about subjects that are equally as interesting on the podcast.
Sarah says Michelle Obama and both Brené Brown's podcasts are exclusively on Spotify.
Oh,
Yes.
Brene Brown.
Dr.
Yeah, we
Elo's
talked
in
about
the
her a
chat.
lot yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Elo said, "Who's that?" And he's crying. Hope everything's okay, Elo. No need to cry. Oh, laughter. I got laughter. Right.
Yeah, that's laughter crying. That's a sign of how old you are when you think that's just crying.
I'm very elderly this afternoon, this evening, or this morning, wherever you may be.
Did you see the meme where some older person used LOL? She thought it was lots of love.
Oh
And
God.
it was at the end of a bereavement type post to the family, like a group post to the family. It's like, oh, Aunt Aunt Betty passed away, LOL. They're like, why are you laughing at that? She goes, I thought it was lots of love. She goes, no, it's laughing out loud.
You know, some kid told her it meant lots of love.
There used to be something online called Old People Facebook. It's a subreddit, Old People
Yes.
Facebook, and it's mostly old people like using the post as a search engine.
Yes.
Or doing other things that just obviously aren't the right thing to do online. It's I get a lot of laughs out of it.
I'll do that. Do you guys have a TikTok, or do you go on TikTok? Because
Don't.
I'm finding myself doing some very old man things when I'm on TikTok. I'm like, what is this crap? Why am I watching this? I don't know. It's I don't know. Do you have an app where you start to realize, oh, I'm old? Like that? For me, TikTok is like, I'm old. That's the old realization app for me.
Plentyoffish.com.
There's an Instagram account called Kid Fail. And it's all videos of kids bumping into things and falling off the pier. It's just getting... It's hilarious.
I follow-up question, John.
Yeah.
So Plenty of Fish makes you feel old because when you're reading these bios, are you like, what? You want to do that on a first date?
Yeah, I know. It's and in this age of where we are doing, or in this age of this sort of, I mean, I can't even say that either. We can't do those sort of things, right? It's 2021. There's something going on in this world where we can't do those things. Yeah, I'm a bit appalled, and then I just lay in the fetal position and cry.
Mm.
Elo's
So those are
thinking
your
this is
Friday
definitely
night
getting
plans?
unlisted. Elo, I think you might be right, but then again, I might just keep it.
Oh, come on. This is tame.
Oh, it's tame. Elo, you've been on for a lot worse. Come on, get on here. Then I'll definitely unlist it. It'll be fantastic.
We'll put you in the center square like Alice from the Brady Bunch.
Or Paul Lynn. Either way.
Or Paul Lynn, yeah.
All right. By the way, I gotta confirm with Sammy. Sammy, I could do 5 on here, right? Bad joke. Anyhow, Elo, join us. It'd be great.
And I have a technical question. Is this the first VF Talks where you're on the M1 Mac?
Yes, it is. Yes,
I can
it
tell 'cause
is.
There's no lag. When you had more than one guest on, there was technical issues. At
I was
least
also on a 14.4K modem as well.
1414 board.
That's right. I was going to use the
remember-
2400 board, but that's just ridiculous. I used the 14.4. Nothing but classy for my guests.
I remember doing the math of how much more you can do online versus the cost of the modem because you had to pay per hour that you were connected to AOL.
AOL, how about CompuServe?
Yeah.
Prodigy.
Okay. My website is best viewed by Netscape Navigator.
That's good. That's very good.
Do you have the little icon? Best viewed with Netscape.
Oh, Elo.
Oh, have you guys seen the new Amazon headquarters and how it kind of looks like the poop emoji?
I gotta look this up immediately.
Yeah,
Where are they-
that's curious.
Where are they setting it up? Like in Raleigh, North Carolina?
Probably.
That's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like
In-
right there by the river, and
In
it's
the,
like this.
in the
it's
triangle.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Are
Like
they
it's
clear domes?
it's a spiral with like this walkway up the middle, but the swirl, people are like, it kind of looks like the poop emoji. And as I was looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I could see that.
If you think about the triangle, there's a lot of major tech companies in the triangle. You got Red Hat down there. You got Amazon. You got a lot of players down there for sure.
What's the triangle? Is that
The research
Sorry.
triangle down in Raleigh and Durham and that area. down in North Carolina.
Got it.
It's 3 cities that they consider a triangle because, and if you live inside it, the cost of living's more.
Yeah.
Yes. Sarah wants to know which M1 Mac you got.
I got a MacBook Pro, 16 gig of memory, nice size hard drive in there. I got a terabyte in there, and yeah, the M1 has been absolutely fantastic. And I've only had the other MacBook for about 6 years, so it was due time.
When that iMac comes out, I'm snatching it up.
Mm.
The specs for the M1X have leaked. Instead of 8 cores, it's got 12, and then the
What?
GPU cores have
What?
doubled. I think there's 6
What?
GPU cores, and now they're getting 12.
Oh,
Hold on
man.
a second.
Green.
Are you telling me the new one is going to be better than the old one?
Yes.
Say it ain't so.
Oh my god.
Oh, baby.
Who'd have thunk it? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I didn't think I'd dive too deep as far as the price point for the 16 gig MacBook Pro M1 that I'm running now. So when this sort of pricing model for the new MacBook comes later this year, I think I might have an idea of when I would go to that. But I mean, I'm really happy with what I have.
No, I'm putting this one on for sale because this is the latest MacBook Pro with the Intel. Like it was the last one, the 2020. I got it, and I'm maxed that sucker out.
Sarah
I'm
officially hates you. I think she's referring to me though.
Even though I'll get
Well,
less for this MacBook Intel, I think it's going to be enough to buy the new Mac, like even Steven, because they're lower. Anyway. Shall see.
Well, I mean, as long as you're coming up with content that's, you do amazing stuff. You got 900 things on YouTube right now.
Only 17 channels, yeah.
17 channels of quality content, as I always say.
You really have 17 channels?
No, I have 3 that I mostly post
Oh.
to. Four if you count
Jokes.
awesome fun things.
Got it.
Elo, the topic is nothing. You want to jump on? We could make it something, or we could see if we can get delisted on this one. Come on board.
Yeah.
That'd be
See
great.
if we can
What do you
bog
wanna
down
talk-
as M1.
Yeah, someone did get an M1. Sammy, you got an M1, right? You got multiple M1s. You got a whole warehouse of M1s, don't you?
With his bank robberies and his heists.
That's right.
The old Sammy bank robber.
I saw a meme photo. It was someone in IT that built a desk for his MacBook Pro, and his little desk was made out of MacBook Pros. Like he had 2 MacBook Pros on the side and a MacBook Pro on the top and then he put
Sammy's running a Mac Mini M1, and he only has one, which is contrary to popular belief. And when I say popular belief, mine. But yes, yeah. One Mac Mini M1.
Oh, hey, did you guys see the new trailer for the Mortal Kombat movie?
No, I didn't.
No.
Well,
I saw Arcade
doesn't
One
look
Up
that great.
has released their classic Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet back into the
Yeah,
catalog.
that's amazing.
That's very cool.
Mm. How long did you used to stand at a Mortal Kombat in the arcade? How long would you play at a time?
I wouldn't. So I only played when it came out on Super Nintendo. Like when it came out on Super Nintendo, I lived on that forever. But I grew up in a household where they were like, "What? Mortal Kombat? No, you can't play Mortal Kombat." So when we go to the store, it would very quickly just kind of I'd look at a bunch of people just kind of mingling and being around that, and I was like, "That's cool. That's what cool looks like." And then I'd have to walk out of the store.
I would
That's
play
my story.
Gauntlet for hours.
That's
The
sad.
person. Only that game
Which-
narked on you because I was playing it and it said, "Lately, the dwarf has been eating all the food." I was like, "You son of a Beep. All my
Oops.
friends are pumping in quarters, and I'm hogging all the food so I can stay alive longer.
Ela says, "Wow, Sammy, she's fast too. He's running a 16 gig Mac Mini M1, and poor Ashley. All comments are on top of her. Sorry, it's kind of rough there.
It's okay. Nobody needs to see my face. It's all good.
She can put herself through self-therapy because she's a therapist.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, oh my God! Look at what he did. Moving a comment box somewhere on it. Yeah.
So much
got the
power with an
technical chops
M1.
there, John.
Sarah says, Dr. Elo, no, not topic. 15 topics on top of each other in no order. That's exactly right, Sarah. 15 topics, and I'm sure there's going to be at least 19 more. Moreover, Dr. Elo, are you going to Chili's tonight? Because that seems to be the Friday night tradition. I
Chili's
listen.
is my
I
favorite.
listen.
I eat an embarrassingly large amount of the chips and salsa at Chili's. Like, my family apologizes for me because I ask for a refill so often. I love it. I can't get enough.
How many refills are you good for?
We usually get four servings of the chips and salsa.
Chili's it is.
And then I ask them to bag it and take it home, and like, you're not supposed to do that because it's bottomless, and that's sort of goes against protocol. But I don't care.
I didn't know there was protocol.
Well, more like etiquette type of thing, but I don't care. I need my chips and salsa from Chili's. It's so good. It's so good.
Is that protocol governed by the United Nations or something?
I don't think it's that strict.
Mm.
But I do like my Chili's. As far as like a fast casual restaurant, Chili's is it, baby.
Elo says that you and Elo are chip twins because
Let's do it.
he does the same.
Let's go to lunch sometime and break the bank at
Also, because you both served as police officers and were both on motorcycles.
That's right. Thank you,
See,
Punch.
I like that.
There you go. I know
Good
things.
call.
Sammy says, ha. It's not even the ha's together.
Oh God, he's having a seizure.
Oh, God.
Get him out.
Oh, oh, dear. Oh, my. Sammy, are you okay? Blink once if you're all right. Let us know. Do you know the person at Chili's? Wow. Elo, answer if you want to, but oof. Ah ha 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 ha. That's a 16 har. 16. That's a record.
Oh no, he's just on drugs.
I'm getting very concerned, actually.
I'm
He's on
concerned
drugs.
that he started it with an A. You don't start
Yes,
the ha
so-
ha ha with an A. You start with an H.
See, that's more of a maniacal laugh because you went ah ha ha ha. Ha.
Well, we knew
Yeah,
he
good
was.
call.
Yeah.
That is,
We knew he was maniacal for a long
Absolutely.
time. Her name's Maggie, special server.
that is definitely evil villain style.
Yes, it is.
Evil genius, Sammy Superstar, and also incredible musician. Oh no! Oh boy. Ela says she is part of the family already, and then of course Sammy has to do better than that. You figured that one out.
Yeah.
I'm like 38 ha's there.
I think he needs, like, the defibrillator. Shock him back.
I'm a little worried
Snap out
about
of it.
Sammy. I
Come
really
back
am.
with Sammy.
Sarah says, I bet you're a top-notch tipper, Elo.
Oh, if I get 4
Nice
refills of chips and salsa, I tip hard at Chili's. Just so you know, all the waitresses out there that work for Chili's, just know, I tip hard.
25% tip.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
25%.
yes.
Are you sitting there or are you just picking it up?
Good point. Good point.
Because when I
Sounds good
pick
to
up,
me.
I'll do like maybe 15. Maybe 15.
Just 15?
If I'm just picking it up, and they're like not like I don't have any like waiter service, yeah, I'll do about 15.
Oh, you mean
You know
for,
your
like,
servers are only
pickup?
getting like $2.50 an hour, right?
Oh, I always tell them, meet me out back, and I'll hand you the cash.
And when he says meet me out back, he means meet me at the Outback.
I'm like, are you looking for a financial good time? Meet me over at Outback, and I'll share a bloomin' onion with you, and hand you some money,
If you know what I'm saying.
if you know what I'm saying.
The 15 Macs are laughing. Oh, Sammy, I hope you're okay. Sarah says you can always tell if someone was waitstaff or not by how we tip.
Exactly. Did it for one summer and never again.
Never again.
Never again.
And Sammy says he means Outback steak.
The knockoff
Yes.
from Outback
I
Steak.
would have a problem putting up with people. It'll be ready when it's ready. Did you ever? Okay, I got a question. Did you ever memorize the order and not write it down?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the
That-
time. If it was just like two people, I never wrote it down.
That's a bold move.
Bold.
It is a bold move. And you know
seem
what?
like a bold person.
You would think that would impress them, but no, it didn't.
Very good.
You can't impress that crowd, you know.
You
Well, some
can't.
people you just can't impress.
No.
I think they come there with a certain sort of expectation of their dining experience, and they're not going to be happy either way.
You'd be surprised how many people don't tip at all.
Oof.
That's a thing?
That is a thing.
That's not right.
Quite often
That's just rude.
it is.
Have you ever been
I
tipped
couldn't do that.
as a
I could
therapist?
never not tip. That's just wrong.
Have you ever been like therapist tips? Like, that was a really great session. Here's an extra 10.
No, because that's unethical.
Is it? You
It
can't tip
is.
a therapist?
You can't tip
Really?
a therapist. No.
Well, I've been doing it wrong my whole life.
Oh,
Or
God.
you're seeing a very different kind of therapist.
Oh, man.
I'm like, wow, that
Therapist.
was really good. I feel great at the end of this. One might say that was a happy ending
Oh,
to this
come on.
session.
Really? Have you tried the avocado ranch sauce with the chips, Matt, as I'm trying to clean this up really quickly?
Oh, okay. No, I haven't. I just stick with the regular salsa.
Do you put the whole chip in there or just the never mind. Okay. Sarah says,
Oh, look at you. Look at you, you
eh,
filthy.
eh? I
you
hate to
filthy
think about
JV
how much
animal.
waitressing I did, Sarah says.
It makes us very strong people, though.
That's right.
If you survive serving.
And also that horrible pun. Sammy says, why does Paul do a lot of DoorDash?
Because, listen, Sammy, you see what I'm doing right now? Sitting down, big fan of it. And DoorDash allows more of that to happen while food comes to my face. So
Specifically,
there you go.
your face.
Sammy. Right to my face.
Right to my face.
What's not to love, people?
DoorDash is great. But
It's
as
the
somebody who
best.
works too much, it's great.
Ashley, 100%. It's the best.
Sarah
It's like-
worked at one place where ladies would leave a quarter under her plate, and if they really liked you, they'll add a dime.
Oh, yes. I know. I had these two who would come in every day for coffee and bagels. Same thing.
Elo says, Sammy, enough with the questions, dude. Ha 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 ha. I think that's a 4-hour.
Did Sammy ask a lot of questions? Dude has no filter.
No filter. No filter Sammy, as we like to call him, back in the Lita days.
He is a creative genius, you know.
He is a creative genius. He's a brilliant creative
Slogan.
genius. Yeah, trademark.
Sammy's put out a lot of content.
Lots of content.
He's a content creator.
He does have no filter, Dr. Elo. You say hello and I say hello. Hello, hello.
Oh, I will share that I gave some technical advice on how to do videos with transparent backgrounds to Sammy. I actually gave him advice. It's usually the other way around because he's wicked smart too. But that happened. It was a thing.
Was it a thing? There was a
Yeah.
thing.
It's a thing.
Wow.
I think that's going to be my next show. It's going to be called It's a Thing. And we're going to talk about things that are things.
Things
This is great.
that are things.
I know, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
Like
Good stuff.
I learned there was hair dye just for the roots. You know, like if a woman has the hair parted and then the roots need
Yes.
there's a product. I'm like, is that a thing? They're like, yeah, it's totally a thing. I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like that could be the content for the show.
Elo says he's dead. Well, Elo, it's
That's
good
not
knowing
cool.
you. Our thoughts and prayers.
That's-
And Sammy says, I knew how to do it, but the converter was not working.
Yeah, okay. You got to pick the right converter.
Mm.
Make sure the flux capacitor is working at 100% capacity. And blinker fluid, make sure that's not low.
That's right. Gilly says, things that are things, the Gilly man abides. Gilly, glad you're here. And I'm glad that you enjoy the things that are things.
Hi, Gilly. See, all of my channels have the word things in it, or the word awesome, or both. So that's why I like it's a thing. See, there's piano awesome. It's got the word awesome. That doesn't have the word things, but most of them. I'll subscribe now. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah.
Elo's in hashtag no filter. And then Sammy says, but then you told me about the convert and it worked. It was great. And then, of course, the question we were all thinking, are you still running Ecamm on that 2015 MacBook Pro? Who?
Is that a question to you, John? I'm using the
know.
2020 MacBook Pro.
I'm not using the 2015 MacBook Pro at all. I'm not sure what you're watching the first few minutes of the show. What?
What did you do with your old 2015 MacBook Pro?
It's right down there.
What's the future plans of the 2015 MacBook Pro?
I don't know. I might do something with it. Then again, I might not.
There's websites where you can get money for it.
Yeah. Sammy says, John, I guess that question's for me. Yeah, this wonderful broadcast that you're watching today and this week is on the MacBook Pro M1 with 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte hard drive. No, I decided not to get the Mac Mini. I got myself the MacBook Pro, and that was a wonderful trip through Delaware and then King of Pro. Oh, it was fantastic. It was good times. Good times indeed. Ob says, good morning. Good morning to you, Ob. And Sammy says, that's great, John. How are you, Ob? Hope you're doing well. Any big plans for the weekend?
I'm going to play a song on my piano and film it.
Nice.
Blondie's Call Me is the song.
Love that.
Really
song.
hard. Very fast. And it has notes
you
that
re-
are in between the notes, which is really hard. You know?
Where do you put it? Like when you record it, where do you put the videos?
Here.
Piano awesome.
Oh, there's Piano Awesome too. Did not know.
Yes,
it.
there is.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Sammy got his from B&H. That's the place to go when you have to go get photography or video equipment in New York City, B&H or Adorama, either or. But B&H, solid place for sure. Ob says, well, I'm doing good and learning how to be polite and don't say the exact truth. Not working too well with me. Yeah, I saw what happened there, Ob. I know it's tough sometimes, Ob, but you're doing the right thing. I know you are. Sarah says, what kind of piano do you have, Matt?
It's a Yamaha digital piano. It's the P71, which can only be found on Amazon. You can buy the exact same piano in a piano store. It's called the P45. For some reason, they just rolled up a new model number just for Amazon. We don't
And he
know why.
picked up 26 more of something.
I don't know, but it's a real piano. I mean, it's got the 88 keys. They're fully weighted. It's got MIDI out. It's a real instrument. It's not. Anyway, I like it. It's fun. I want to upgrade. There's some other very expensive digital pianos that have a few insignificant features that this one doesn't have, but the fact that I don't have those insignificant features makes me want it even more.
I knew you weren't going to show my comment, says Elo.
Retro.
Well, which one? No filter at all? Because just did. And then now I just showed your comment. So, yeah, there you go.
Well, one
And
way to solve that, Dr. Elo, is to come on the show.
Wizard of Haas with the advice for the hour. Elo, you should jump on for a few minutes. I think we could have 5 in here. Sammy seems to think so.
I want to see if we can break his MacBook, with more guests.
Yeah.
It'll start crying.
Yeah, and then I will be crying. It'll be
Do you hear
fantastic.
Do you hear any audible fan noise from your Mac?
No.
Wow.
If this was the old thing last week, 2 weeks ago, it'd be louder than my next door neighbor's dog.
What kind of dog? Now we're talking.
Oh, he's a mutt. He's a very loud mutt who's got a really bad attitude. Ob says, hello, Wizard, Ashley, and Paul. How you doing this glorious evening?
I'm doing great. I appreciate a good ye and hearken. Ashley, thank you very much for a hearken yesterday.
You're very welcome for the Harkin. Twice.
Double hearken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Double hark.
Yeah.
I obviously missed something.
No, it was a double
I
hearken.
said Harkin. Yes, I said Harkin
Yeah,
last night.
Matt, you're all caught up, my man.
Nuts. So I literally used Harkin again in another sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a
Now you're
Britney
all caught
Spears
up.
reference. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's what I did in my brain. Oh, here's the thing. This weekend, I'm teaching myself. Well, I'm not teaching myself. The internet's teaching me how to use Streamlabs, and it's been interesting so far. So I'm doing that. And there's a digital improv festival online, so I've been watching that, which has been pretty cool. So
Did you
those are my weekend plans.
did you pick a cameo out of the cameos that you were looking at last night?
No, but dang, you can get lost on that site. There's so
Mhm.
many cameos. Have you guys gone? Matt, Ashley? Well, let me tell you, and everybody watching, Cameo is a treat. If you're interested in a treat yourself to Cameo.
Is that where you get celebrities to give you a shout out?
Exactly.
Yes.
Boom.
Oh man,
Boom.
it's so much fun.
I learned
much
who's the
fun.
top celebrity on there. You'll never guess.
It's I hate when I say like you won't guess it and somebody guesses it. I'm like, well, you're not playing the game right. So I think I know who it is, but I'll say I don't.
He's going to refrain from answering the question because he thinks he knows the person. So he's disqualifying himself.
It's the actor from The Office that played Kevin Malone. He's the top earner on Cameo.
I
He
was
made
shocked.
over $1 million in 2020.
That's pretty shocking. Hey,
You wouldn't
here's
think
a
it would be
question.
him. You'd think it would be someone else.
You guys, JV,
Mhm.
Ashley, Matt, I'm curious. What type of person are you? When somebody comes up to you and says, guess how much this is, do you try to actually guess it or underguess so they can feel excited about sharing this awesome information? Because I feel like this reveals a lot about people. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I
it does.
try and give the honest guess.
Ashley?
I always
I-
underguess because I don't know.
I don't guess. But I judge
you
you
don't
for
even
asking
play.
the question. to
You're like,
begin
I'm
with.
out.
I'm
Just
out.
tell me
yes.
information. I don't want to
Yes.
guess. I don't like playing games. Do you like playing games? Ashley, are you a big like Risk person or a Monopoly? Or at a very young age were you beaten a number of times at those games and you're like, never again will I ever participate in any sort of thing where I could be wrong?
No, I love Monopoly.
Interesting. Okay.
I do. I really enjoy Monopoly.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
I know.
Paul, you know what my
Plus one.
strategy is?
Hmm.
I let
Maybe.
everybody basically float their guess out there, and then I either yell $1 or I always go $1 above the highest bid.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Okay, so you price is right it.
Oh hell yeah!
I always underguess because people are always so excited when they're like, no, you won't believe it. And then they share it. And I'm like, I want them to have that moment. So I always underguess or
Oh.
You're a
overguess.
good guy.
You want to
kinda
give them the
sense-
moment? That's good.
Yeah, like let them have that moment. Not
So-
healthy in a
so, Paul,
long-term
that-
life basis.
That just put you in a very good light. So my question to Ashley is, are you sizing us up? Like, have you formed any like therapist first impressions of us as people?
Oh,
I'm
100%.
always sizing people up. Yes.
I'll beat Ashley to the punch. It's 100% codependent move. 100%.
Codependent, co-addiction. Yeah.
It is. That's very much a codependent move. Yes.
Oh, totally. Yeah, 100%. I know. I know the book Codependent No More. I
There
own
you
it.
go.
I own the workbook.
Boom.
Quality Beatty. Great stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. You're using the taglines and everything. Oh my god, that's kismet. That's kismet. I'm gonna put the comment back up there for. I would play Monopoly with you, Ashley. He's famous for going mafia on the game. So you're talking Gambino crime family, Columbo crime family. Which crime family? Up?
That does matter.
It does. And Sarah says, Paul, I think there's a skit somewhere in there.
Yep, somewhere. That's true. You're probably right, Sarah. I'll
You know,
tinker.
someone
there.
calculated the best strategy for Monopoly, and statistically, you are more likely to win if you follow the strategy. And I think it goes something like the mid-level properties, you put 4 houses on them, never a hotel. And if you can lock that down, you're statistically more likely to win the game.
Mhm.
They ran the numbers, crunched the numbers. Go
That's
figure.
it's a good question, Sammy. How's Rex? Hang on, Rex, how you doing? Oh, really? Is that seriously? Yeah. Oh God. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate you asking because now that can. Never mind. Ob says always go mid in 4 houses with 1 motel on each as well. Motel? What? Motel?
So, is this like the slum version of Monopoly? We got houses to motels.
Does things have the day rate? What? I mean, how's that work?
You can rent them by the hour.
Yes.
Gilly had a comment before. He said, things that are things, a 2-year-old pillow can be 10% dust mite feces and Caracas material, and every object is coated with dust mite feces, including your eyeballs. Gilly, thank you. Appreciate that. That is definitely a thing from Dr. Gilly. Weekday mornings at 9. No hotels. Day rate.
Did you see Sarah's comment about set decoration?
Oh, yeah, let me get it up there.
Pretty awesome.
I got an email today I thought was spam, but it was a TV show wanting to use a piece of mine for set decoration. She's famous. Ha 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 ha. That's the 6 R's.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
The applause only come through my left
Yes,
headphone.
That's
it's fun.
It's very weird. It's very. Yeah.
John paid extra for that feature.
That's well, you land on me, I take $500 plus rent. Thank you, all. Appreciate it. Preach. Then Sammy asks, should I come up? Should you come up how? What? Come up how? Thoughts?
I'm guessing he means being a guest. on
Yeah,
the
I mean,
show.
just jump. You got the link down there and stuff down that
In the doodly doo. That's the
doodly
phone
do.
link.
Yeah, down there. Right.
Click the link in the doodly doo.
In the doodly do, you put the doodly do up in the address do, and then the thing do goes off, and then we add you, and then I usually throw you off because that's what usually happens when you go on. Ob says my sister and I used to play, and I took everything from her, and she picked up the board and slapped me on the head and kicked me, and I laugh. Family.
I always enjoy the things that make people very chatty. Like everybody has that one topic. Sober Ob, he is deep diving into Monopoly. It's very
Yes.
interesting, like what people really love.
But this is some interesting, sibling dynamics at play in regards to Monopoly.
So, question for Ob: like, what game piece were you? Were you always the sports car, or didn't it matter?
Or the thimble. Were you the thimble?
Did you guys
I
have
always
one?
like
I don't
trying
think
to
I ever
sell
cared.
someone my get out of jail free card for more than $200 to see if I could get him to do it.
He always loved being the banker.
Okay,
So the banker doesn't play, right? The banker is just like
No, the
No,
maker
they-
plays.
it can be a player.
the banker plays.
Yes.
Sarah,
Just have an extra
I haven't played in a
responsibility.
very long time.
Sarah doesn't watch TV. The show is called the Kai, the Shy,
It's the shy.
the Shy.
Yes.
Well, I see CHI and I go back to math and I'm saying it's like Chi Square, right? Sorry, the Shy. Anyone know what that is? Obviously, I don't.
No, I've never heard of it, but I'm gonna look it up.
I was going to say, I read a little thing about it when it first premiered, but I didn't ever see it.
Sarah likes the iron, and Ob owns the bank because he
Now-
needed to carry out money. The wheelbarrow.
I was gonna say, you ever sneak
All right.
money from the bank? I was notorious sneaking, getting it under the board, and then slipping it out later.
I witnessed that. 6-person hit the like button.
Smash that like button, folks.
Like,
Smash it.
comment, subscribe, ring that bell.
Oh, I got a bell one here. Look, bell.
So the TV show is a timely coming-of-age drama series centered on a group of residents who become linked by coincidence, but bonded by the need for connection and redemption.
Dun,
It's
dun,
well reviewed.
dun.
Cool.
Ob, of course, stole money and ting-a-ling-ling. Yeah. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
You see what I'm doing over there? You see that? That's what I do over there. He doesn't sound like
Get
that.
outta here.
Hey, get out of here. How you doing?
Get back in the car.
He wants to play Monopoly with all you.
And let Paul play. He's a good fella.
Yeah, you know, he's a good fella. Just busting my balls. He's getting fucking fresh.
I got my ghoul.
Yeah, how you doing?
All right, I got a mosey. This has been a lot of fun. This has been awesome. It's been cool having so many people on here. It's fun.
Ob is laughing so hard tears are rolling down his face.
Oh boy.
Hey, Paul, any exciting programming tonight over on your end?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm taking tonight off, but tomorrow night will be some Jackbox games. So if
Jackbox.
anyone wants to play, yeah, if anyone wants to play, come on by. It'll be fun.
Are you doing the game with the where you're trying to capture the person who did the thing, and then people get ejected from the spacecraft or something, and then you have people trying to hack other people because they're trolls, but you got to try to figure that out.
It's like you summarized the 3 hours of streaming into a beautiful, concise 15-second blip.
Hey Paul, I do what I can over here.
You do real good. You do real good. You're real funny. You're a real funny guy.
How am I funny? Like I'm a comedian or something? Do I amuse you?
Do I make you
Like
laugh?
a clown?
Like a
A
clown.
clown?
Ashley, Matt, it's been lovely. It's been fun.
Take care, Paul.
Paul,
See you guys.
you're phenomenal. Love you, bro.
You're awesome.
Take care of yourself.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
And now we're 3.
Paul Burke, ladies and gentlemen. No relation to Ashley Blake.
They're not even remotely close.
That's right. The last names start with the letter B, and with an E. It's got you thinking.
Can't
No,
argue
it
with that
doesn't.
Logic.
I guess I can move that back down here, because it's not covering any. There we go. How's that? Is that good? That's good. Oh, my. Yeah, there you go. Might be an interesting day. Absolutely. There's a wink. And to take care of Paul from Moab. It's been a week. It's been a week. Obviously, by the 1 hour and quarter point, I'm not. Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't have any big plans this weekend. I should have some big plans this weekend, but I don't. So I'm sure something will come to me sometime this weekend, for sure.
I should be able to get in my wood shop and make something awesome. I'm going to do some soundproofing, but the cover is going to be a fabric poster. So I'm going to have like movie posters. They're going to look like posters, but it's actually going to be fabric, and it's going to be soundproofing to help with cut down the echo. Hope to start that project. Sounds like fun.
Bob asks a good question. What the Blue Blazes are your times and days, Johnny V? Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. And then this very wonderful program you're watching, the VF Talks, Fridays at 5:15 Eastern, 2:15 Pacific. Also, in that wonderful ticker on the bottom.
I have a programming question. Do you schedule the shows out ahead of time? Because I think this show just appeared 20 minutes before you went live. Is that right, or did I miss something?
No, I mean, Restream usually puts it out 20 minutes before the actual start time, so it's a Restream thing. Oh, Op says, too fast, John. Cut the radio voice. Okay, I'll try it again. The Venture Forward airs Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Pacific on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Also, on Fridays is VF Talks. That airs at 5:15 Eastern, 2:15 Pacific. Also on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Thank you.
That was the radio voice. Can you do the movie voice? And if so, you have to start every sentence with
In a world.
In a world.
Right.
You know, that radio voice, they teach us as therapists to do the late night DJ voice when we're actually working with clients. Yes, it's
Why?
a thing.
$4.99
Can't
per
you
minute.
be real with people?
No, because it keeps them calm. I don't do that, but that's what they tell you to do.
We like to make people calm, but no, we don't. We don't like to make people calm at all.
Are you
YouTube
okay,
did-
John?
YouTube did not notify me you're on. I'm sorry, Op. I'll go into Restream to make sure I have more of a warning before the show goes on.
Can you hear my dog barking?
Yes.
She needs something, so I'm gonna cut out.
And now I got to do
Having
Curly
me on,
Stooge voice
John.
now?
Ashley, it was good hanging with you.
Good hanging with you too, Matt.
Matt, as always, you're fantastic. When we go for chili dogs, bro?
Oh, all right. We'll get that on the calendar.
Well,
How about that?
it's gotta be after Lent because I gave up meat for Lent. But yes, let's do
Okay.
that.
We'll make it happen.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone
You
in
have
the VF Talks audience.
You have
Take
a
care.
great rest of your Friday night, and I'll talk to you sometime this weekend, bro.
Right back at you.
All right. And then there were two.
And then there were two.
Sarah says YouTube notifies me, but it starts several seconds in, not the actual opening. And Bob says, yes, Sarah, and good morning to you. You're buying Matt. I didn't know Matt was for sale. Ciao,
Apparently.
Matt. And can't be good. Be careful, Bob. That's a good point. Very good point. This is not a repeat from last night. Different show. This is VF Talks on a Friday night. This was interesting. This was really interesting. You had a little bit of Matt Haas. You had a little bit of Paul Burke, and we had you. This was a really great show, and a lot of inappropriate comments, which I won't clean up. Whatever.
They don't need to be.
No.
Not at all.
Op says he's on Park Avenue, Matt. Park Place. Buy him. Yes, but only if you have Boardwalk, and then you run the game. You run the game, almost.
Actually, statistically, that's not where you're going to most likely win.
The Greens? Is the Greens?
No.
The Reds?
No, statistically, you want
The Oranges?
You want
The Light
you want
Blues?
the oranges and the reds. You want that corner.
You want the corner. The corner.
You want the corner. The corner.
The corner.
Yeah.
The corner right by free parking.
Yes,
The
exactly.
free parking corner.
That's what you want.
The treasure trove of Monopoly riches. The free parking corner.
Or be a slumlord.
Yes.
Slumlord works well too.
Ob says for some reason both had all the time for some reason. Sarah says big on the Illinois. And Ob says always have that corner. If you're playing Game of Life, that advice doesn't help. Different game. Or Payday.
There's no corners in the game of life.
Different
It
game.
goes like this.
Spinning something, moving. Yep.
Yes. Having way too many children in your little car.
Oh, that's never good.
I don't
Especially-
know. One time I managed to need a second car because I had too many kids. Because I kept getting like ones.
Ob says the Game of Life is great.
It is great.
Yeah. Unless you're playing Monopoly, which is greater. And then Sarah says, yes, Baltic and Mediterranean.
I'm fans. I'm a fan. Baltic, Mediterranean, good places. You know, Park Place Boardwalk, way overrated.
Way overrated. Although, usually a good sign when I got them. And then no one lands on them, and then I end up going broke anyway.
That's exactly what happens.
Well, there you go. But for a few minutes, you're saying, oh, I got this. And then 10 minutes later, you don't got it anymore.
No. And you wasted all your money on them. And
Yes.
You have no other money.
That's exactly right. Obs has pissed people off in the past week over by helping them do 12 steps, and I yelled, then don't ask me for any advice. God dang it. Thank you for cleaning that up, by the way, Ob.
Yeah, you know what? It's okay to be brutally honest with people, especially in addiction. I do it all the time.
Ob says that's a fun game as well when people I help like to try and lie to me. That's a game.
It's a very manipulative game, and I'm sorry that you're going through that right now, Ob.
As am I. One day at a time. One step at a time. One foot in front of the other. And then Ob says, really, Ashley? Question mark, question mark?
Yeah. I'm a very honest person, Ob. And I really am sorry you're going through what you're dealing with, because it sucks.
And then he says, nah, it's not good for them, snicker. Got it. Well, Ashley, I think I'm going to put a giant bow on this. This was great. I enjoyed having you and Matt and Paul and all of you on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. As always, you guys are incredible. I love all of you. Next week, we're going to cover another look at MS. The plan is to have someone who is the mother of someone who has MS talk about how she deals with MS, but also the MS Walk, which is being done virtually again this year. And then Thursday, we're going to start talking about video game addiction. So it should be a very interesting week on the Venture Forward. I hope to see you then. 6:30 Eastern, Tuesday and Thursday night, 5:15 Eastern on Fridays. Ashley, any final thoughts before I tie this up?
No, this was fun. I was very happy to avoid doing paperwork.
Well, there you go. See, I saved you the paperwork.
I still have to do it, John.
Ah, son of a... Well, good luck with that. Have a good night, Ashley. Thanks. Oh, Ashley, Paul, Matt. Good times indeed. Good times. And also this cantankerous guy back there who thinks he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. You don't know. You don't know. He doesn't know at all. Anyhow, Tuesday night, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. And I'll say the same thing as I say at the end of every single Venture Forward or VF Talk. Stay safe. Stay sane. Stay strong. Stay sober. You're worth it. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Tuesday, 6:30 Eastern. Good night.
Heading to Vegas in my blue striped car. She's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. 1, 2, 3